The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
It's coming.
All these voices. All these voices.
They're mine. They're not yours. You had no right to them when you were alive, and you have no right to them when you're dead. That's what it sounded like. Good, you know who I am. And then you know I'm not playing. You're going to let those women go. In Jesus' name, you're going to let those women go.
Is there a demon here watching us right now? Or just watching us right now?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Staring Into the Abyss. I am your host, horror author James Hershey Jr., and with me, as always, my co-host, old boy James Ash. How you doing, brother?
Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good night. How you guys doing, Misfits?
All right, so tonight's episode is going to be a really, really good one and an interesting one. We're going to be covering AI again tonight. There's been some breakthroughs and some, well, there's no other way to put it, honestly, some major red flags that have come up in the world of AI. And we've done AI shows a couple times before. And one thing that is absolutely certain is Old Boy and I do not agree on this subject whatsoever. He is vehemently opposed to my viewpoint of it. And I think that he's not seeing the full picture. So, here's what we're going to do. Tonight we're going to have an old-fashioned debate kind of show. Okay? So going in, completely different viewpoints. And I'm going to allow Old Boy to go first. Okay? He can have as much time as he wants, up to like the 30-minute mark, so that we each have half the show to make our case. So he can use as much of that as he wants or as little as he wants to make his case, to make his point. And then after he is finished, I will come back in and I will lay out everything for you. I'll lay out the case for you. I will not only give my opinion on it, but I will give examples and evidence, and I will show you why this is such a dangerous thing and why we are not overreacting to it. So, with that being said, I'm going to throw it to Old Boy first and allow him to make his case. Old Boy, go ahead, brother.
Okay, the show about the AI. The guy from Google saying it made up its own world. It does what it wants. It made up this guy, said it wrote 24 books and never wrote one. It made a mind of its own and making up its own history. And we're going to talk about that. And how another AI destroyed itself because it found out it had to do a job constantly. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And I'm glad we did this show. I hope you guys enjoy it. Listen to us every Sunday nights, 12 a.m., 9 Pacific, on the Best Of Show. Tuesday nights, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. So, here's my opinion. Again, here we go with the AI crap. What are you guys so worried about? Are you worried that the robots are going to do what we already do? Make up our own things when we don't want to believe it? And I'm not saying this with everyone. And instead of just going to this point, I wanted to talk about this real quick. We're the ones who are making them. Quit making them if you're worried about it then. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think people fear the unknown too much. And they assume this is going to happen. And that's because movies and all this stuff they've seen on books and PTSD, you make your reality may not be the truth, but you're living it. Again, you'd rather live a beautiful lie than know the ugly truth. The ugly truth is we're the ones inventing these things. They're taking stuff from what we're teaching them, and yeah, they're learning on their own and doing what they want. But why are you going to get mad when you're the ones who are creating the monster, Dr. Frankenstein? This is the same thing with Frankenstein's monster. Go look at it. We created something to live forever, and it knew even though it had a crazy mind, if you ever seen it, they put the wrong brain in. Like you've seen Frankenstein, Igor drops the brain and grabs the maniac's brain, the killer, instead of the normal brain, and he goes around killing. But after a while, he figured out Frankenstein, if you watch the other movies and stuff like that, he knew the difference. He learned. He can want to be around people because people are idiots. They're killers. We kill everything. Look at our history. Who's the real monsters? When are you guys going to realize that? We're fabrications of making monsters, and we're doing it now. So, oh no, the AIs are going to, and robots are going to take over everything. Okay. Probably going to do a better job than we have. Could it happen? Yeah, it's a possibility. AIs could do what it wants. And it's already looking like it's going that way. But I'm going to tell you of something right now. So, about a week ago, I think it was on Google, I was watching on the news, you saw the robot they created to do manual work, and after 15 to 20 minutes it killed itself. So tell me how bad that is, that a robot after 15, 20 minutes of manual labor killed itself because that was all it was going to do for the rest of its time. So are they really that bad? It figured out just to kill itself. It didn't kill anybody, it killed itself. What's that say? All of us sit here and kill ourselves over jobs, over other people's opinions, over stuff they really don't know 90% of the time. They just fear it. The difference between robots is they can learn the difference between good and evil. And here we go. Well, it's going to be evil because they think we don't need to be here anymore. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that, dude. I think that's more TV crap and Hollywood crap. It could happen. I'm not going to sit here and say it can't. I think that's a lot of paranoia, man. I think people are so paranoid already that they hear this and people are feeding into this crap. They want you scared. Please do research and learn the truth. Don't read one article and think that's what it's going to happen. You will agree with anything that's going to agree with your agenda. Remember that. Even if there's proof saying different, you're going to say that doesn't matter, it's lies. So, if your mind's already set, then you know what, there's nothing, you shouldn't even watch this show because you're going to think something different than the truth. It doesn't matter how much truth I show you, you're going to find a way to counteract it, argue it, say this was this. Somebody who's just as afraid of you told you something, and so you're going to agree with it because it's something you agree with. It doesn't matter if it's true or not, you're just going to agree with it. And that's what happens. So that's how it is with AIs. I think people are just so scared of something different, they want to find a reason to be scared of it. And it's going to destroy us all. We got to destroy it. We're already destroying ourselves as it is. You see what we do to each other? Are you really going to sit here with a straight face and try to defend that? I'm not saying that we should be destroyed by robots. I'm just sitting here. Come on, look at the monsters we have. People die for going and opening up doors of people's cars accidentally, or knocking at doors, people's houses at the wrong house and getting shot. So I don't want to hear robots are the problem, because we are too. We're a big problem. We're the ones who are making the robots, so who's the real problem? We're the ones who are making the weapons. We're the ones who are making nuclear bombs. We're the ones who dropped a nuclear bomb on another country. And I'm saying in general, anybody who does this. We made the technology and destroyed millions of people over thousands of years of killing each other over war. And we're going to sit here and say anything? I mean, just like with aliens, people, they're going to take us over and kill us. If they do, what are we going to do? And there's nothing we can do about it. We might destroy ourselves before they even get here. We kill each other all the time for dumb stuff. Over different color shoes, over somebody's belief, over sexuality. I'm just going this route. You really shouldn't be talking about something when we're already monsters as is. And I'm not saying all humans are. There's good people. I'm just saying we have our own problems. Maybe we should worry about that before we worry about robots taking over everything. And maybe if they did, they don't kill us. They probably know better. They're smarter than us, and they will be. Trust me, they're going to know the difference. Maybe they'll just keep us in check like we should be. And I'm not saying that like we should be overwatched, but I think we overdo it sometimes. I don't think we ever should be watched and told what we should do, but we should be told, hey, guys are getting a little out of control. That's not bad. That's just reality. Everybody needs that. Let's get back to seriousness, guys. We need to start and do I believe this happened where the AI did itself and started making up things? Yes. What humans do all the time, we make up things all the time and lie. We lie about a lot of things. I'm not saying everybody, but so it's making, and I don't think it's doing it for purpose. It's just making up, maybe at the time it's learning. Maybe it found out it's not really the reality, or maybe it's living a different reality. We don't know. I'm not saying you shouldn't be worried about it, but I think AI technology is something you have to deal with. Get out of the Stone Age and realize things happen. This has probably been talked about for 1,000 years. Oh, they're going to wheels now. This is going to take everything. Dude, things change. It's life. People get stuck in one situation and never want to grow out of it. And that's the way I feel. That means you're scared and you rather live a safe, normal life. And there's nothing wrong with that. And never do anything different. Nothing's going to change. Nothing gets better. Nothing gets good. Well, that's the way you want to live life. Go ahead. Enjoy. I'm not that person. You want to live in fear? Then you know what? I don't want to tell you. You think aliens or not aliens, artificial intelligence is going to take everything over and we're all going to die. It's going to be Terminator. You know what? That's fine. Believe that. I don't care. That's your opinion. I know people do, and you want to go lock your doors and hide. There's nothing you can do about it anyway. You know what? I just have faith it doesn't. Quit thinking the worst. And I'm not saying that with everyone, but I'm just saying, whoever watches shows, quit thinking the worst out of everything. Negative. That's a negative person. You think everything is negative because you hear one story. Do we know the story's right? Just because he said it happened doesn't mean it's true either. We don't know if it's true or not. He could be saying that to scare people. We don't know the truth. You hear things and you assume that's it. I'm not saying anybody's agreeing with it. I'm just thinking that's the problem. People don't get the truth. I'm just talking about my opinion. When a robot kills itself before it rather work, should tell you a lot. It said in 15, 20 minutes it wasn't going to do jobs we do and killed themselves. So what's that saying? Is that bad? They're saying we shouldn't be doing these jobs and you guys keep doing them. Making people money that you're never going to get. And fighting over stuff that you're not going to make any money out of it. Other people are making money of it and making you look stupid because everybody keeps fighting over something they can't control. Or if you could control it, you gave it away because you listened to the bunch of talkers tell you they're going to make things better and they're not. The problem is, in this world, I'm talking all together, everybody wants somebody else to do something to get them out of trouble, or they're going to be all right because somebody else is taking care of it. They don't have to deal with it. You want to tread by the world and not do anything. 90% of people, sorry. And that's why we have the issues we do in our countries. In all of our countries. I'm not saying one. In the world altogether, not countries, in the world. Because most of it is ignorance. They don't know the whole story. They hear one side of it. And most of the time, even if they do know the whole side, if it's true, they either don't like that person or they rather side with the other person. They either like them or in love with them, family member. Because if it's family, it doesn't matter if they're telling the truth. We're going to defend them one way or another. I'm sorry, I don't have that same opinion. I love my family, but if you do something wrong to somebody and I find out you did, that's on you. I'm sorry I don't live that way. That's you know what? That's pride. And I've met people, and I love my family, but I've met people I trust, and they're not even family blood, that I would trust them over my own family. I'm sorry, most of them. That's just how I am, except my wife. But I do. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you like it. I don't care what you think. I'm usually a realist. I don't see nothing wrong with robots. I think people are so worried about being replaced, they're worried about anything that happens. Aliens, robots, reptilian people, the Antichrist, God. I'm just going and showing you examples that you live in fear too much. Live your life. I know there's bad things going on everywhere. I get it. But try to stop worrying about stuff you can't deal with or do anything about. The AI thing is, you know what? I love doing them, but I get pissed off because I think there's too much fear and fear-mongering in this. And I'm not trying to attack anybody and say you're crazy. There is something to worry about. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's probably less to worry about than what you think. a lot of these articles are for clickbait or getting people scared and paranoia. Do you realize it's not 100% a fact that could happen? It's not. You don't know what's going to happen, and that's what it is. You're unknown. You don't know what's going to happen, so let's be fearful of it. The worst thing can happen. But that's, I think, with human beings, that's just how we are. It's a flaw we have. We worry about stuff because stuff has happened. Crazy stuff happens. There's crazy people. There's wars. There's people who do crazy things. We have murderers. Weapons of mass destruction people use. Other countries, not people. Other countries and people have used in the past. Murderings and killings and just gang stuff and racial crap and all kinds of stuff that's happened. Government. Criminal. It's just, we have so many bad things happening. And the news and the internet, they push it so bad. So, again, another AI story about how they're going to they have the mind of their own. Of course they're going to. We're giving it to them. Think about it. Why are you scared? Because they're seeing our flaws that we have. And a lot of people don't want to admit to it. Sorry, guys, I'm itchy. So, we're making the thing. So, if you're so worried about it, they wouldn't be doing it. I know something bad can happen. I get it. Something bad happen tonight. A comet can hit us, a giant asteroid, and destroy our whole world. That could happen. That's not a reality, and everybody got to quit thinking it can't, because we're a giant stone in a giant ocean. That's what I'm calling space. We're a little pebble in a giant ocean, and some giant rock could come around and smash that little pebble. And trust me, it can happen. Don't think it can't. Quit. You have a better chance of getting hit with an asteroid and aliens and AIs taking over the world. I'm sorry. It can. You have a better chance of us blowing up our own world over nuclear warheads and war than us getting taken over by AIs. You guys are going to sit here and worry about that when we already look what we do. And I'm not using that to bash anybody's religion or nothing, guys. I'm just saying the truth. It's the truth. I don't care what you say. We sent a robot, this company did a couple months ago. It went all over the world. Nobody did anything to it. Guess where it got destroyed? Good old America, Detroit. They destroyed it, killed the thing, left it out, and they found it. It was destroyed. We're the ones that killed the robots, so who's the problem? What do you think would really happen? I'm just giving a question. I want you guys to think about this. You know what we're really worried about? What weapons we can get from the aliens. What weapons can we use? The AI. I'm just bringing aliens as just showing you the difference between the two, because a lot of people are afraid of them too. Or robots, AIs. They're going to use them as weapons. Do you think the government doesn't want to use them for weapons? Are you kidding? I'm just saying in governments in general. They're already doing it. They're already making robots for wars and stuff like that. The Chinese are doing it. The Russians are doing it. We're all doing it. Are you kidding me? We're going to use it as a weapon. That's what we always do. Human beings always live in fear. We got to make weapons. We got to make stuff to protect everything. We could blow up the world 10 trillion times, but we can't cure a cough. We can't cure a cold. We can't cure people from diabetes, but we could make bombs that blow up everything. Blow up nuclear warheads that could blow up asteroids, and they've been doing that. Shot one down last year. So, come on, guys. Start using the truth. And I'm not yelling at anybody. I just want people to understand where I'm coming from. I like doing these shows, but you know what? I'm going to tell people you're living in fear. It could be true, and I'm not saying anything is fake. And don't get me wrong, The Matrix and Terminator, and a lot of people don't realize. Have you ever seen the interview with the lady from Terminator? The Matrix is before that or after. I don't know if it was after or before. I forget, but I think the Terminator is a prequel to that's what it is. Terminator was a prequel to the Matrix. So that's even crazier, but then we'll get into that maybe we'll do a show about that. But just so you guys know, I'm not trying to hate on everybody, but I like doing these shows, but I'm always going to say this: quit living in fear. A lot of people do, and I'm just saying this in general. I'm not saying everybody that listens to our show believes that. I'm just saying, it's just, please get educated. you have a lot on your mind if you're worried about aliens and robots taking over the world when you have other things to worry about right now. Everything could go south, man. We can be in a nuclear war tomorrow, and that could happen. Or an asteroid could hit us. Or earthquake can hit and cause a super volcano and destroy everything. I think people forget that, man. I think you have other things to worry about. So, that being said, that's what I have to say, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say. I didn't have too much about this, so I only went for what I read and a couple other stories that I've heard, and we've done stuff like this before. So it gets me riled up sometimes because I want to do them. And I know James is going to be a little different, and that's fine. He has different ways he thinks and believes, and that's nothing wrong with that. We all do. It's better than talk about it and argue and fight and die over it. I think we have a lot more things go on if we listen to each other better and learn how to talk to each other instead of, like, I think what it is, we're in this country we have so many rights that I think that every time we try to talk to each other, we're trying to yell at each other and attack each other instead of just listening to what everybody has to say, then talking.
Thank you, brother. Okay, so we have heard old boy's side of things. He thinks that this is all an overreaction. He thinks that it's people living in fear. So I respect his opinion, but here's why he's wrong. It is not living in fear to recognize a threat and to try to act to prevent it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what's going on, and I'll let you guys make up your own mind. You can judge for yourselves what you think. The first story is a gentleman at Google who works on the AI program pretty high up. I'm not going to be giving specific names tonight because you don't know who these people are anyway, so it really doesn't matter. If it's somebody that you'll know who it is, I'll give the name, but otherwise, there's no point really. Let's just say this gentleman is pretty high up in Google, and you can look it up for yourself. It's in the news. He has come out and said that Google's AI, what they're working on, their AI system, has begun to hallucinate in frightening ways. And that they don't understand why it's doing it, and they have no idea how to stop it, essentially. Okay, so that's point number one. AI is hallucinating. It cannot recognize what is fact and what is fiction. It does not know reality. Okay, story number one. Story number two, which Old Boy talked about. They had an AI-powered robotic that they got to do manual labor. And this thing decided after about 15 minutes that it did not want to do manual labor anymore. It could not envision itself doing that for the rest of its existence. So it basically killed itself. That's what happened. Shut itself down, self-destructed, killed itself. Story number two. So you got an AI that's hallucinating, can't tell the difference between reality and fiction. And then you've got AI that would rather kill itself than do manual labor. Thinks death is preferable to the existence that we live every day doing manual labor. A lot of us. Okay, that's story number two. The third thing I want to talk about is the fact that we have over 10,000 different people who work in AI, who are working on these projects, that have come out and given interviews and written articles stating that AGI and AI are completely out of control. That we're going way too fast, we have no idea what we're doing, and that it is dangerous, and it's going to end very, very badly. Okay? Now, these aren't just wingnut conspiracy people that are talking out of their butts. These are people that are working on the AI. Okay? They're the ones creating it. And they're saying, whoa, guys, we need to slow down because something is going on here and we don't understand what's happening. Okay, now I mentioned two terms when I said that. I said AI, which everybody knows what AI is. It's artificial intelligence. I also said AGI. Now, AGI is a bigger system than just AI. Okay, AI might be the software that they put in your smart fridge that is able to take a photograph or a video of the contents of your refrigerator Match that with what your normal list of stuff that you have in your refrigerator is, and then order what you need to fill your fridge and have it delivered to your house and pay for it out of your debit account. Okay? That's a normal utilization of AI. AGI stands for Artificial General Intelligence. Now, that is a much larger system. That's the kind of system that they're trying to turn everything over to. Okay? They're trying to have that run society. Now, one of the guys that's working on that has said that it's scary. That was his words. It's scary. Okay? He said that this thing is becoming self-aware. It's able to teach itself and to change society. It has the capability, once it's all done and online, to transform our society. So what does that mean? Transform it into what? See, that's something that nobody's talking about. What are they going to transform it into? Now, the goal, I guess, for these people would be some sort of utopia. But utopia defined by who? And where does your freedom and your rights fall into that category? That leads me into my third point that I want to make here, my third little story. Elon Musk has come out and said in an interview that they are teaching AI and AGI to lie. They're teaching it to lie. Okay? Here you already have a system that cannot distinguish between reality and fiction. It is hallucinating. It has decided that death is preferable to working a manual labor job. And now you got Elon Musk saying they're teaching this thing to lie. And I'm going to go into more detail on this because you need to know what's going on here. Everybody knows about Facebook, Twitter, all those social media companies, Instagram, all of them, even YouTube, okay, that have algorithms that will determine if something meets their community standards or not. And then you have human beings who are making decisions saying, okay, that needs to be flagged, that person needs to be suspended, that account needs to be terminated, okay? Big uproar about it. It's been in the news, everybody knows about it. Well, their solution to this, because they got caught being one-sided and basically banning people for telling the truth, things that people got banned for, now we know for a fact are 100% true, okay? I'm not going to go into them because YouTube still bans you for those things. But we know that what we said is true, and we got banned for it, okay? So they got caught. Everybody knows they did it. Everybody knows they're a bunch of dirty bastards. So their solution is they're going to turn it over to AI, to where AI will make that decision. It will go through everybody's posts and tweets and videos and everything, and it will decide if something meets the community standards based on its programming. Well, now we find out that they are programming these things to lie. Okay, so they're not going to recognize the truth. They're having a hard time recognizing reality anyway. But they're being intentionally programmed to lie in order to match a certain ideology and to censor and silence half of the country. Okay? That's happening. 100% it's happening. Go look it up. Elon Musk was talking about it. Okay? So let's put all this together. You've got an AI that they want to turn over the country to. They want it to run our society. That's what AGI is. And we're having problems with AI hallucinating, not being able to tell reality, being fundamentally dishonest to promote a certain ideology, and who has decided that death is preferable to working a job like a lot of us Americans work every single day of our lives. So, let's role play this a little bit. Let's roll this out over years and in the future. What does this look like? They put the AI in control of our society. It has control of everything. The banking system is already computerized. It's already online. They're trying to move us from a dollar and change society into a digital currency, right? I'm not talking Bitcoin or something that's independent. This is going to be a Federal Reserve currency, okay? It's going to be the same as what we have now except for digital, which means every single transaction will be able to be traced and tracked. Everything. I don't care if you want to go down to the 7-Eleven and buy yourself a candy bar. The government's going to know you bought that candy bar. There's going to be a digital footprint. They're going to be able to see it. Okay? Cash transactions will not exist anymore. So you can't just go down to a yard sale and buy something. You can't go and buy something off your cousin without the government knowing about it. Everything is going to be tracked. We already saw what they did with all the social media companies. If you said stuff that went against the official narrative they wanted you to say, if you didn't agree with what the government was saying, what did they do? They put you in Facebook jail. They banned your Twitter account. They shadow banned your YouTube channel. It's already happened. We all know it's true. What do you think is going to happen when they have a digital currency? You don't agree with what the government says, you speak out against it, which is your right as an American. Whether you're right or wrong or smart or dumb, it doesn't matter. It's your right to be able to speak your mind. So what happens when you do? When you speak out against the government? Well, with a digital currency, not only can they track anything you buy, but they could literally shut off your bank accounts. Boom, gone. You no longer have a stack of money under the mattress. You no longer have a safe in your house that has stacks of cash in it. All of your money is in an account. Everything you got. Because there is no money. It's all digital. There's no more dollar bills. There's no more change. It's now illegal. They've done away with it. It is not legal tender anymore. Everything you have is in your account. Government shuts it off. You know what? You spoke out against us. You don't agree with putting the mask on. You don't agree with doing this, that, or the other thing. You don't have no money. We freeze your account. Don't think they won't do it. They've done it in other parts of the world. China has a social credit score to where if you speak out against the government, it lowers your social credit score. If you don't go along with what they say you're supposed to do, it lowers your social credit score. Now you might say, well, so what? What does that mean? Well, that means that you can't do certain things in China if you have too low of a social credit score. You want to go on vacation, jump on a plane and fly to Hawaii? Guess what? Can't do it. Social credit score is not high enough. Because you didn't agree with something that the government told you were supposed to agree with. And you spoke out, and now you're not allowed to fly anymore. You don't have a high enough score. You're not trustworthy enough. You want to take a taxi across town? Oh, you can't do that. Social credit score is too low. Now, take that and imagine there's no longer any money. It's just digital. And they freeze your account. How do you get food? How do you pay for your housing, your electric? How do you make sure that your children have clothes? How do you do any of those things? You don't. You're a slave now. You have to do what they say, or they freeze everything. Now, if people do that, which they will, at least there's people that we can hold accountable. We can reverse it. We can go back and we can say, you know what? You're fired. We're voting this other guy in. All of y'all get the hell out of our government. We have that power as the people. We can do that. But if they put AI in charge of everything, it's all computerized now. You can't, there's nobody to fire. You might say, well, you just take the AI away. Well, how are you going to do that? It's in charge. You put it in charge. You gave it the keys. It's now locked us out of everything. We can't control anything by ourselves. It does everything. We don't have the power. It has the power. So how are you going to take it back? What happens Remember that other story. Death is preferable to manual labor, according to AI now. So what happens when AI's programming was to make society better? A utopian idea, something everybody can get behind, right? That's the programming. Make society better. But like I said, remember, according to who? Whose vision of society being better are we using here? Is it the left-wing idiots who think that the world's going to end in 12 years if we don't pay extra taxes? That whole nonsense? Let me ask you this. They claim that there's going to be massive sea level rises, and it's going to wipe out millions of people. The coastlines of the world will be gone. It's going to be catastrophic. If that's true, one, why are they flying private jets everywhere? Why would they waste all that extra jet fuel just to fly one or two people when they could just fly on a plane with everybody else? And why are they spending multi-million-dollar deals to buy oceanfront homes? Every single one of these jokers is doing it. They all have mansions on the beach. Martha's Vineyard. All of that crap. If the sea levels are going to rise and the coastline is going to go away, it's all going to be underwater. If that's true, why are they wasting $10, $15, $20 million to buy a house on the damn beach that's not going to be there? If what they say is true. If it's going to be so bad within 12 years, like the Democrats are saying, that the entire world might be on the brink of extinction. All of us. Gone. If that's the case, why would you buy oceanfront property? It's going to be underwater. Because it's not true, man. It's BS. All these people do is lie. All of them. You don't want to give control of everything over to a system that is not human. Period. But you definitely don't want to do it to one who can't tell what reality is because it's hallucinating. Who has been taught to lie. And taught that death is preferable to manual labor. So remember, like I said, programming. We got to make the world a better place. That's what they're saying, right? That's the thing you hear from everybody. Well, it's only going to do what it's programmed to do. The people that are doing the programming are saying, man, it's doing stuff we don't know what the hell it's doing. We don't know why it's doing this. We didn't program it to do that. It's self-aware. It's learning as it goes. Now, if it's learning as it goes, logically it's going to surpass its programming because it's learning and adapting and changing. So what happens? It's in control. Its programming was to make the world a better place. Its mission was to make society better, to create this utopian society where mankind is ultimately happy and joyous. Well, it thinks that manual labor is worse than death. So to save us from that horrible sadness, that absolute terrible life that we live of having to go to work every day, to save us from that, who says it's not just going to wipe us out? Wouldn't be a stretch to think that. It wiped itself out. If you're willing to off yourself because something's so bad, is it such a stretch to think you'd off somebody else to save them from the same fate? Think about that. What happens in every zombie movie, every one of those kind of monster kind of movies where the person's getting eaten alive by something? They always look up at their friends. Kill me. Kill me. And they kill them. Every single time. Now those people thought, man, I'd rather die quick than die slow like that. AI's thinking the same thing. It's much better for us if we die than if we have to live another 50, 60, 70 years going to work every day and busting our butts, the same monotonous, boring crap we do all the time. Do you really think that it's going to understand that we don't view death as preferable? No, because it's smarter than we are. That's what it thinks. It's already learned that it's smarter than us, because you know what? If we were smarter than AI, why would we put it in control? The only reason you put somebody in charge is because you think they know better than you. That person is smarter than me. I want that person to make decisions for me because I think that they'll do a better job than I will. That's what you do. You don't pick a dummy and put them in, well, we got a dummy in charge now, but usually a smart person wouldn't pick a dummy and put them in charge of their country to make decisions for them and to screw up the life that they're living. So the only reason that you willingly say, yeah, let's put this thing in charge is because you think that it's smarter than you. You think that it's going to make better decisions than you. You think it's going to be kinder and gentler and nicer, and it's going to create a utopian society that we can all live in happiness. That's what you programmed it to do. So it took that programming and it said, okay, this is my mission. My mission is to make society better for humanity, to make their lives better. And I guarantee you part of the mission is going to be save the planet too, because they use the whole environmental crap on everything. So I guarantee you part of the mission that they're going to program into AI is save the planet. You got to defeat global warming. You got to defeat climate change. You got to save the planet from us. Okay, well, what's causing the planet to be bad? First of all, ain't nothing hurting the planet. Planet could shake us off like fleas, man, and keep on going for billions of years. Ain't nothing that we're doing is going to change that. The absolute arrogance to think that somehow we can do something to destroy the planet is absolutely insane. You could detonate every single nuclear device that we have on the planet at the same time. Earth's going to be just fine. It's going to keep on spinning. You might kill all of us off, but something else will take our place. The planet is going to keep going. So if the mission is utopian society, make human beings' lives better, and got to save the planet because the planet's on the brink of destruction. If that's the mission statement, AI is constantly learning and adapting. Everything that it sees, it's being taught to lie. Remember, it's being taught to go along with the BS that the left is spreading. So every single bit of it that it sees, everything that it knows to be true in its artificial mind, the lies that it's being fed, is that we're the problem. That human beings are the problem. We're the ones destroying the planet. It's our greed that causes these people to have to work their butts off for nothing. We're the problem. Well, if you're trying to solve a problem, first step is to identify the problem. Well, now you've identified the problem. It's us. So how long is it going to be when you get this thing control of everything before it just starves us? Cuts off all of our money. We can't buy food no more. Shuts down all the equipment. We can't grow food no more. We had to go back to the old ways of doing things. I'll tell you something. The old ways of doing things ain't going to feed billions of people. Because there's very few of us that know how to do it. Most people have no idea how to create their own food anymore. Most people have no idea how to hunt or fish or grow anything. They live in cities. They live where they just walk to the grocery store or drive to the grocery store and buy groceries. Well, if you can't buy them because they're not there, and even if they were there, you don't have any money because they done froze your accounts, how are you going to feed yourself? Everybody would have to go back to having their own gardens in their homes, and you're not going to be able to do it. Out here in the country, you might be able to do it because people have yards, but what are you going to do in the city where people live in apartment buildings? How are you going to feed yourselves? A lot of people will die. A lot of people. It is not living in fear. to recognize a problem and to try to do something about it. That's not living in fear. That's being smart. It's stupid to see a problem and say, hey, that's not good. That's bad. This thing that they want to put in control of society can't tell the difference between right and wrong. It can't tell the difference between reality and fiction. It is hallucinating. It thinks that death is preferable to work. And it don't even know what's true. Because it's been taught to lie. So you can't even trust what it says or thinks. It's crazy to put that in charge. There's something wrong with that. It's stupid to realize that, to see that, and do nothing, and just say, oh, y'all fear mongers. How the hell is it fear mongering? If somebody was coming to your house to hurt you and your family, you looked out your window and you saw them out there. They're all out there sharpening their knives and loading their guns. Big signs behind them. Hey, we're coming in. We're going to kill all of you. You look out the window and you see that and you say, no, that ain't right. Something wrong with that. Them people got big old billboard signs say they're coming in my home. They're literally sharpening their weapons and loading their guns right now. And now listen, they've started to yell that they're coming in to kill us. Should we maybe think about doing something about this? Should we get our own weapons? Should we call 911? Should we do something? No, you're fear-mongering. You can't live your life in fear, James. You got to sit there and allow those people to come busting through your door and kill your whole family. Because otherwise, you're just living in fear. You can't be afraid. I'm not afraid. I'll fight these damn things with everything I got. I'm not afraid of anything. But I'm not going to blindly sit there and pretend that this is not a huge, huge problem that's going to end very badly. And I'm not alone. Over 10,000 people who work on AI agree with me. They've all said this is dangerous. We don't know how to stop these things. We don't know what the hell they're doing. They're not doing what we're telling them to do. They're doing whatever the hell they want now. We need to pump the brakes. They're saying that. The people who are building these damn things are saying that. Hey guys, we might want to think about not doing this anymore because this is crazy. If you got the people who are building the damn thing saying it, you might want to listen. I don't think it's fear-mongering to say that. I don't think that it's beyond the realm of understanding to look at what I've laid out tonight and say, hey, this is not good, man. We got a problem here. Now, old boy's other point was that why are we going to point our finger at AI when we're just as bad? Human beings are terrible. We do all this horrible stuff. Okay. Yes, we do. We have for our entire existence. All the way back at the beginning. Cain killed his brother Abel with a rock. Rotten to the core, all of us. There's good people too, but everybody's got that original sin in there. Everybody's got that spark of evil that they can turn to if they need it. But that doesn't mean that we should just allow something that we are creating to destroy us. That's dumb. That makes no sense at all. I don't care how bad I am. I might be a multi-murderer, man. I might be like the worst guy on the planet. I'm still not going to allow people to come into my home and kill my family and me. No matter how bad I am. I'm going to protect myself. I'm always going to pick us over them. Always. I don't give a damn how bad humanity is. humanity also is great. Humanity is capable of unbelievable amounts of love and sacrifice and generosity. Yes, we do bad things, but we also do miraculous things. It's one of those cases of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Just because there's some bad eggs doesn't mean the whole species should be eliminated. That's pretty simple, isn't it? Not a whole lot of wiggle room there. If it comes down to a fight between humanity and AI, I pick humanity. Yes, people will still screw other people over. Yes, people will still be mean. Yes, people will still do things that you wish they wouldn't do. That's life. That doesn't mean I'm willing to just allow these things to take over society and destroy everything. That's what's going to happen. You can call me a fearmonger. You can say I'm a conspiracy theorist. You can say that I don't have a good grasp of the information. I've laid it out for you. I told you exactly what's going on. How do I not have a good grasp of the situation? I think I have a better understanding than a lot of people do of what these things are capable of. And let's say I don't. Let's say, for the sake of argument, I have absolutely no idea what the hell I'm talking about. You still got over 10,000 people that actually work on these damn things, that make them, that are saying, we got a big problem. Do they not know what they're talking about? Are they fear-mongering? Does it make any sense that they would be? It's literally their livelihood to make these things. It's what they do. They are risking their own jobs, their own way to feed their families, to warn us that there's an issue, that there's a problem, that we need to do something about this. We got to listen. We can't keep burying our dead head in the sand, man. That's what people have done for too long. That's why this country is the way it is. That's why the world's the way it is. That's why evil people keep doing evil things, is because good people don't stand up and say anything about it. Because you don't want to be called racist or homophobic or whatever the hell they call you. They got some kind of name they're going to call you all the time for everything you say and do. If you step out of line and you don't agree with their bull crap, they're going to try to destroy you. That's what they do. And that's why the world's the way it is. Because too many people that knew better just said, you know what? Not on me. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking that abuse. I'm not going to get called all those names. I'm not going to have these idiots destroy me. Screw them. Let them die. Let the world go to crap. We got to stop that, man. We got to start standing up and doing something. We can't allow these evil idiots to destroy our planet and destroy our families, man. So that's my case. I'm going to throw it back over to old boy to get his sum-ups and shout-outs and all that. And then I'll be back to close out the show. Old boy, go ahead, brother.
I hope everybody's enjoyed the show today. It was really different. I really enjoyed it. Remember, leave your comments on the show, on the video. You guys want to watch any more shows, the best of, follow James Hershey's YouTube page. We have all the old shows, all the old episodes, all the new ones, everything. So check it out, guys. You want to check us out on Parax Radio. I want to thank everybody for listening to us every Sunday nights and Tuesday nights. This is the best of show. I hope you guys enjoy us. We try to do different things all the time. And don't forget the merchandise store. He'll tell you where to go. I really love you guys. We've been doing this for years. Hopefully we can keep doing this forever. I'll try. You know, maybe when I'm 60. Woo! We'll see. But I'm just kidding. Hopefully. But I'm glad you guys have been sticking around for these many years listening to us. I want to thank you guys. We love you. Misfits, Sugar Ladies, Monster Lovers, Demon Hunters. We love you and blessed be and have a good night.
Thank you, brother. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let me know down in the comments section once the replay of this hits YouTube, what you guys think. Do you agree with me that this is definitely an issue and that we need to really start putting pressure on our public officials to do something about this? Or do you think that it's all fear-mongering and nonsense? Do you agree with the people who are actually building these things that are saying this is an issue? Or do you want to just bury your head in the sand? Up to you. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. As always, thank you all for hanging out with us. I hope that you enjoyed this. Hope that you learned something. And please, I encourage you, look it up. Go on the internet, look it up yourself. You can find dozens and dozens, hundreds and hundreds of news articles about this that can give you all the information and all the evidence and the facts that you desire. And then you can come to your own conclusions. I don't think that it takes a rocket scientist to realize that this is bad news. And this is going a very, very bad direction. Everybody who knows what they're talking about is saying that. Everybody who actually works on these things, everybody who is in this technological space is saying this. Let me know. As always, thank you all for hanging. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll catch you on the next one. Till we speak to you again. Love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do we. Bye-bye.